Kraft Heinz says it'll be phasing out artificial chemical dyes by 2027. The shift would affect brands like Kool-Aid, Jell-O, Crystal Light, and other beverages and desserts.
1 tablespoon of the ketchup in your fridge contains 7 grams of sugar. More than a Tim Tam biscuit, 2 tablespoons matches a Krispy Kreme donut. Most Australians use 3 to 4 tablespoons with chips or snags. That's 14 grams of sugar from sauce before the meal. Ketchup should be tomatoes, vinegar, salt, spices. 5 ingredients. Bottles at Woolies and Coles contain 10 to 15 additives, preservatives, color enhancers, modified starches, natural flavors hiding chemical compounds. I investigated ketchup brands sold in Australia. 6 brands hiding problems behind tomato imagery and heritage claims. Extreme sugar loading, imported Chinese paste, foreign corporate ownership, preservatives linked to hyperactivity. Number 1 is worst. The red bottle everyone trusts with more sugar than Coke. Let's expose them all. Avoid brand. Number 1. Heinz tomato ketchup. The red bottle on every Australian table since your grandparents' childhood. Heinz. Founded United States 1869. The Keystone logo, red glass bottle, iconic squeeze bottle. Australian pantry staple for over a century. Families buy it without question. Children eat it daily on sausage sandwiches, chips, chicken nuggets. Seniors remember Heinz from childhood and trust it completely. Parents grab it thinking iconic means safe. The sugar content is 27% by weight. 27%. That's more than 1/4 sugar. Coca-Cola is 10.6% sugar. Heinz tomato ketchup has more than double the sugar concentration of Coke. 100 grams of ketchup, roughly 6 tablespoons, contains 27 grams of sugar. That's 7 teaspoons of pure sugar. Most Australians use 40 to 60 grams per serving with chips or meat pie. That's 12 to 16 grams of sugar from ketchup alone. Before the chips, before the pie, just the sauce. Pull out your Heinz bottle right now. Look at ingredients. Tomatoes, sugar, salt, food acid, acetic acid, preservative sodium benzoate 211, spice, onion powder. Preservative 211 is sodium benzoate. When combined with citric acid, which naturally occurs in tomatoes, sodium benzoate can form benzene. Benzene is known carcinogen. Temperature and storage conditions affect benzene formation. Studies show levels typically stay below dangerous limits, but formation can occur. Owned by Kraft Heinz. American corporation. Annual revenue $26 billion. Same corporation with SEC fraud settlement. Falsified supplier contracts 2015 to 2018. Convicted of securities fraud. Open the bottle and taste ketchup straight from a spoon. Sweet. Intensely sweet. Almost sickly sweet. That's not tomato flavor. That's sugar syrup with tomato coloring and tomato solids added. The thickness isn't from tomatoes. It's from sugar concentration creating viscous texture. Children eating Heinz daily on school lunches get 27% sugar training taste buds to expect extreme sweetness in savory food. Diabetics using ketchup thinking, it's just tomato get sugar, bomb-spiking blood glucose. Families trusting iconic American brand get preservative that can form carcinogen. Parents adding ketchup to kids' plates multiple times daily are adding teaspoons of sugar disguised as vegetable condiment. If you're buying Heinz thinking iconic means quality, 27% sugar plus preservative 211, more sugar than Coke in every squeeze. Sugar bomb in iconic bottle. But next brand brings candy company chemistry to condiments. Avoid brand number 1, Heinz tomato ketchup. The red bottle on every Australian table since your grandparents' childhood. Heinz. Founded United States 1869. The Keystone logo, red glass bottle. Australian pantry staple for over a century. Families buy it without question. Children eat it daily on sausage sandwiches, chips, nuggets. Seniors trust it from childhood memories. Parents grab it thinking iconic means safe. The sugar content is 27% by weight, more than 1/4 sugar. Coca-Cola is 10.6% sugar. Heinz has more than double the sugar concentration of Coke. 100 grams of ketchup contains 27 grams of sugar. That's 7 teaspoons. Most Australians use 40 to 60 grams per serving with chips. That's 12 to 16 grams of sugar from ketchup alone. Before the meal. Just the sauce. Pull out your Heinz bottle. Look at ingredients. Tomatoes, sugar, salt, food. Acid, acetic acid, preservative sodium. Benzoate 211, spice, onion powder. Preservative 211 is sodium benzoate. When combined with citric acid naturally occurring in tomatoes, sodium benzoate can form benzene. Benzene is known carcinogen. Temperature and storage affect benzene formation. Studies show levels typically stay below dangerous limits, but formation can occur. Owned by Kraft Heinz. American corporation. Annual revenue $26 billion. Same corporation with SEC fraud settlement. Falsified supplier contracts 2015 to 2018. Open the bottle and taste ketchup straight from spoon. Sweet. Intensely sweet. Almost sickly sweet. That's not tomato flavor, that's sugar syrup with tomato coloring. Children eating Heinz daily get 27% sugar training taste buds for extreme sweetness in savory food. Diabetics using ketchup get sugar bomb spiking blood glucose. Families trusting iconic brand get preservative that can form carcinogen. Parents adding ketchup to kids' plates multiple times daily add teaspoons of sugar disguised as vegetable condiment. The iconic red bottle hides what's inside. If you're buying Heinz thinking iconic means quality, 27% sugar plus preservative 211. More sugar than Coke in every squeeze. Sugar bomb in iconic bottle. Next brand brings candy company chemistry to condiments. Avoid brand number 2, Masterfoods. Tomato sauce. The sauce from the company that makes M&Ms and Snickers. Masterfoods. Owned by Mars Incorporated. The M&M Company. Snickers. Twix. Maltesers. Mars bars. Skittles. Candy manufacturer with annual revenue over $45 billion making tomato sauce. Families buy it thinking established brand means quality. Children eat it because parents trust the Mars name from chocolate aisle. Health-conscious shoppers choose it over Heinz, thinking different brand means different formulation. Athletes grab it for post-workout meals. The candy formulation expertise gets applied to savory condiments. Sugar engineering used in chocolate bars transferred to ketchup bottles. Mars knows how to make products addictively sweet. That's their core business competency. Pull out Masterfoods tomato sauce. Look at ingredients. Tomato paste from imported tomatoes, sugar, salt, food acid, acetic acid, natural flavors, spice extracts. Tomato paste from imported tomatoes. That wording hides origin. Imported from where? China? Italy? Spain? Turkey? Multiple countries blended together? No disclosure, no traceability, no verification possible. Mars sources tomato paste from wherever costs least. Global commodity purchasing. The tomatoes could come from anywhere. Processing standards vary dramatically by country. Pesticide regulations differ. Quality controls differ. You cannot verify any of it. Natural flavors is regulatory loophole permitted by FSANZ. Can represent 50 to 100 different chemical compounds. Food manufacturers not required to disclose what specific chemicals comprise natural flavors. Could be anything. Proprietary trade secret protection means zero transparency. You're eating mystery chemicals hidden behind 2 words that sound harmless. Natural flavors sounds better than chemical flavor compounds produced in laboratory. But that's what it is. Sugar content is 23 to 25% by weight. Slightly less than Heinz, but still extreme. 4 tablespoons, typical serving with chips, delivers 12 grams of sugar. 3 teaspoons of sugar from sauce alone. Mars applies candy engineering to condiments. Make it sweet enough that people keep buying. Train taste buds to expect that sweetness. Create brand loyalty through sugar addiction pathways. Families buying Masterfoods get candy company sugar formulation optimized for repeat purchases. Children eating it regularly get imported mystery tomato paste with zero origin transparency. Health-conscious shoppers choosing it over Heinz get nearly identical sugar content with added natural flavors mystery. Athletes using it for meals get chemical compounds hidden behind regulatory loophole. The Mars expertise is candy. Sugar engineering. Addictive sweetness. That expertise gets applied to tomato sauce with predictable results. High sugar. Mystery ingredients. Global commodity sourcing prioritizing cost over quality. If you're buying Masterfoods thinking different brand means better ingredients, candy company formulation, plus imported mystery paste, plus natural flavors hiding chemical compounds. Mars makes candy. This ketchup proves it. Candy chemistry in condiment bottle. Next brand hides Chinese paste behind budget pricing. If you're realizing ketchup isn't what the bottle suggests, hit subscribe right now. We investigate Australian food weekly using ingredient databases and verifiable sources. No brand deals. Subscribe so you don't miss the next investigation. Avoid brand number 3, Woolworths/Coles. Home brand tomato sauce. The $1.80 sauce that seems too cheap to question. Woolworth's tomato sauce. Kohl's tomato sauce. Under $2 per bottle. Cheapest ketchup in the condiments aisle. Budget families buy them weekly. Thinking affordable sauce is still sauce. Students grab it because rent is expensive and food budget is tight. Pensioners choose it on fixed income. Pregnant women cooking for families buy it to save money. Single parents stretching dollars trust it as safe, cheap option. The price hides where the tomatoes come from. Contract manufacturing to lowest bidder. Manufacturer changes quarterly based on commodity pricing. Tomato paste origin undisclosed. Processing facility undisclosed. Quality standards meet minimum legal requirements only. Australian tomato paste costs significantly more than Chinese imports. Australian tomatoes grown in Goulburn Valley or Riverina cost premium. Processing Australian tomatoes into paste costs labor and facility overhead. At under $2 retail price per bottle, the tomato paste is almost certainly imported from China. Chinese tomato processing is cheapest globally. Xinjiang region in China produces massive tomato paste quantities exported worldwide at rock-bottom prices. The economics don't work any other way. You cannot bottle Australian tomato sauce with Australian tomatoes at $1.80 retail while paying manufacturer margin, retailer margin, transport costs, packaging costs. The math requires imported paste. Pull out home brand tomato sauce. Look at ingredients. Tomato paste, sugar, salt, food acid, acetic acid. Thickener, modified cornstarch. 1422, spice extracts. Preservative sodium benzoate 211. Modified cornstarch. 1422 is chemically modified starch used as cheap thickener. Cornstarch treated with acetic anhydride to change properties. Creates artificial thickness without using more tomatoes. The sauce is thinner than premium brands. More water dilution. Less tomato solids. Modified starch compensates for reduced tomato content by creating artificial viscosity. Cheap thickener replacing expensive tomato paste. No manufacturer disclosure. Woolworths and Kohl's contract production to whoever bids lowest that quarter. Could be Simplot. Could be SPC. Could be offshore processor bottling in Australia. Changes based on pricing negotiations. No traceability to tomato source. No disclosed pesticide standards. No processing facility transparency. Just cheapest possible formulation, meeting FSANZ, minimum legal requirements. Budget families using home brand daily get likely Chinese tomato paste with zero origin verification. Pregnant women cooking for families cannot verify pesticide standards or heavy metal contamination levels in imported paste. Students saving money get modified starch replacing tomato content. Pensioners on fixed income get mystery manufacturer with no accountability. The $1.80 saving cost transparency. No disclosed standards, no traceable origin, no manufacturer accountability, just cheapest possible sauce meeting legal bare minimum. When contamination scares occur, home brand switches suppliers and problem disappears into contractor anonymity. No brand reputation to protect. No direct manufacturer accountability, just lowest cost formulation. If you're buying home brand to save money, likely Chinese tomato paste plus modified starch plus mystery manufacturer. Budget pricing hides what you cannot verify. Mystery paste at mystery price. Next brand hides French ownership behind glass bottle premium. Avoid brand number 4. Fountain tomato sauce. The premium sauce in the glass bottle marketed as quality. Fountain. Glass bottle suggesting premium quality. Slightly higher pricing than home brand. $3 to $4 per bottle. Australian families choose it thinking glass bottle equals better sauce. BBQ hosts buy it for gatherings thinking premium presentation. Mid-tier shoppers split the difference between home brand and Heinz. The glass bottle is marketing. The ownership is French, owned by Parmalat Australia. Parmalat owned by Lactalis Group, French dairy giant. Third largest dairy company globally. Annual revenue over 20 billion euros. Same parent company as Paul's Dairy from cottage cheese script. French multinational using Australian brand name. Not Australian, not even remotely Australian owned. French corporate entity operating under Australian brand heritage. Pull out fountain tomato sauce. Look at ingredients. Tomatoes, sugar, salt, food acid, acetic acid, color paprika, extract 160C, thickener modified cornstarch, natural flavors, spices. Color 160C is paprika extract, used to make sauce appear redder and more tomato-rich than actual tomato content justifies. Natural tomatoes vary in color, batch to batch. Fountain looks identical bright red every single bottle. That's color standardization through additives. Paprika extract intensifies red hue, making consumers think more tomato. Visual deception. The consistent bright red suggests higher tomato concentration than reality. Color additive compensates for whatever actual tomato content exists. Modified cornstarch appears again. Premium glass bottle doesn't eliminate cheap thickeners. Same modified starch as $1.80 home brand. Premium pricing. Same industrial thickening agent. Natural flavors hiding chemical compounds. Premium presentation doesn't mean disclosed ingredients. Same regulatory loophole as Masterfoods. Mystery chemicals behind two innocent-sounding words. Sugar content 22 to 24% by weight. Premium glass bottle doesn't reduce sugar. Nearly identical sugar concentration to cheaper brands. You're paying for packaging and French corporate margin, not lower sugar formulation. The glass bottle costs more to manufacture than plastic squeeze bottle. That cost gets passed to consumer. You're paying premium for glass packaging, not premium ingredients inside glass. Families paying extra for fountain thinking quality get French corporate formulation identical to cheaper brands. BBQ hosts choosing glass bottle for presentation. Get color additive 160C, making sauce appear more tomato-rich than it is. Mid-tier shoppers get modified cornstarch in premium-priced product. Glass suggests old-fashioned quality. Authentic tomato sauce. Traditional recipe. The reality is modern industrial formulation with color additives, modified starch, natural flavor mysteries, and French corporate ownership optimizing for margin. Premium price doesn't buy premium ingredients. It buys glass packaging and brand perception. The sauce inside is industrially formulated like cheaper alternatives. If you're buying fountain thinking glass bottle means quality, French corporate ownership plus color 160C plus modified starch. Premium packaging hiding standard formulation. Glass bottle marketing masking French corporate reality. Next brand betrays Australian heritage to American ownership. Before we get to the heritage betrayal and the final preservative bomb, smash that like button if this is changing how you see tomato sauce. Share this with every Australian buying ketchup for their families. Avoid brand number 5, Rosella tomato sauce. The Australian brand with the cockatoo that's not Australian anymore. Rosella. Founded Melbourne, 1895. The cockatoo logo. Victorian heritage. Australian pantry for 129 years. The jam, the sauce, the cordial, the tomato soup. Seniors remember Rosella as genuinely Australian. Bought it in 1950s and 60s when it was truly Melbourne family company. Nostalgic Australians choose it thinking they're supporting Australian heritage. Heritage-conscious families buy it believing cockatoo logo means Australian-owned. Sold to Simplot Australia in 1995. Simplot is American agricultural corporation founded Idaho. Simplot invented frozen French fries for McDonald's in 1952. Now owns Rosella, Edgell, Birdseye, Legos, John West Australia. The cockatoo is Australian. The ownership is Idaho Potato Company. When Simplot acquired Rosella, the formulation changed. Whatever simpler recipe existed before American corporate acquisition got replaced with industrial formulation, optimized for shelf life and manufacturing efficiency. Pull out Rosella tomato sauce. Look at ingredients: tomatoes, sugar, salt, food acid, acetic acid, thickener modified cornstarch, 1442, spice extracts, preservative sodium benzoate 211. Modified cornstarch 1442 is acetylated distarch adipate, chemically modified starch created by treating cornstarch with acetic anhydride and adipic acid, used to create stable thickness across temperature changes. More heavily chemically processed than 1422, used in home brand. This is industrial starch modification. Chemical treatment changing molecular structure of corn. Starch to withstand temperature fluctuations during transport and storage. Not needed in traditional tomato sauce. Added for manufacturing convenience and shelf stability. Sugar content, 23 to 25% by weight. Heritage brand doesn't reduce sugar loading. Nearly identical to Heinz and Masterfoods. American corporate ownership didn't improve formulation. Preservative 211 appears again. Sodium benzoate extending shelf life beyond what fresh tomato sauce would naturally last. Traditional Rosella before Simplot acquisition likely didn't use chemical preservatives. Refrigeration and natural acidity from vinegar preserved sauce adequately. American ownership brought American food manufacturing philosophy, maximum shelf life, uniform texture through modified starches, chemical preservation, cost optimization. Seniors trusting Rosella heritage get American corporate formulation. The brand they remember from 1960s childhood is owned by Idaho Potato Processor. Nostalgic Australians, supporting what they think is Australian brand, are supporting American corporate profits. Heritage-conscious families get chemically modified starch 1442 in sauce their grandparents bought when it was genuinely Melbourne-owned. The cockatoo logo remained after acquisition. Visual continuity suggesting nothing changed. But ownership changed. Formulation changed. Manufacturing philosophy changed. Only the logo connecting current product to heritage passed. Rosella is now just another Simplot brand. Same corporate parent as frozen vegetables and canned corn. The Melbourne heritage died in 1995. What remains is American agricultural conglomerate using Australian nostalgia to sell modified starch thickened tomato sauce. If you're buying Rosella thinking you're supporting Australian heritage, American Simplot ownership since 1995 plus modified starch 1442. The cockatoo stayed. The Australian ownership left 30 years ago. Heritage betrayal in nostalgic packaging. Final brand weaponizes wording deception with dual preservatives. Avoid brand number 6. ETA tomato sauce. The discount sauce marketed as Australian-made. ETA, discount brand. Lower pricing than Heinz or Masterfoods. $2 to $3 per bottle. Made in Australia claim on label prominently displayed. Green and white packaging suggesting fresh Australian product. Budget families see Made in Australia and think they're supporting Australian agriculture. Students choosing ETA for price think they're buying local. Price-conscious shoppers believe Made in Australia means Australian tomatoes. Pensioners on fixed income trust the label. Made in Australia from imported ingredients. That's the legal wording loophole. Tomato paste imported from cheapest global source. Mixed in Australian facility. Bottled in Australian factory. Labeled Made in Australia. Product of Australia means grown and processed in Australia. Made in Australia means only final processing happened here. Completely different legal meanings. Most consumers don't know the distinction. Labels designed to confuse. The tomatoes are not Australian. The growing happened overseas. The initial processing into paste happened overseas. Only the final mixing and bottling happens in Australian facility. That's enough to legally claim Made in Australia. Pull out ETA tomato sauce. Look at ingredients. Tomato paste from imported tomatoes, sugar, salt, food acid acetic acid 260, preservative sodium benzoate 211, and potassium sorbate 202. Thickener, xanthan gum 415. Natural flavors. 2 different preservatives. Sodium benzoate 211 and potassium sorbate 202. Double preservation system for maximum shelf life extension. Fresh tomato sauce doesn't need dual preservative system. 1 preservative extends shelf life adequately. 2 preservatives extend it far beyond natural limits. Potassium sorbate 202 is chemical preservative preventing mold and yeast growth. Extends shelf life months, beyond what unpreserved tomato sauce would last. Combined with sodium benzoate, creates preservation overkill. The sodium content is highest in category 1,100 to 1,200 milligrams per 100 grams. Higher than Heinz. Higher than Masterfoods. Higher than home brand. Higher than everything. 4 tablespoons, typical serving with chips, delivers 550 milligrams sodium. That's 25% of your entire daily sodium limit from sauce alone. Before the chips. Before the meat pie. Just the ketchup. Thickener 415 is xanthan gum. Produced by fermenting sugar with bacteria called Xanthomonas campestris. Creates slimy gel texture in liquids. Used because it's cheaper than using more tomato paste for thickness. Budget families seeing Made in Australia think they're supporting local farmers. Getting imported tomato paste processed in Australian factory. Students choosing ETA for price get dual preservative system extending shelf life unnaturally. Price-conscious shoppers get highest sodium in entire category plus wording deception designed to mislead. Made in Australia is not product of Australia. The wording matters. The legal distinction exists specifically to allow this type of deceptive labeling. Imported ingredients processed locally can claim Made in Australia. Most shoppers don't realize the difference. If you're buying ETA thinking made in Australia means Australian tomatoes, imported paste, plus dual preservatives plus highest sodium in category. Wording deception hiding imported reality. Go check your pantry right now. Walk to your pantry. Pull out that ketchup bottle. Any brand. Look at the ingredient list. Count the sugar grams. Check for preservative 211. Look for modified starch. Find the natural flavors. Check if it says product of Australia or just made in Australia. 6 brands hiding problems behind tomato imagery and heritage claims. 27% sugar. Chinese tomato paste. French corporate ownership. American agricultural conglomerates. Dual preservative systems. Color additives. Modified starches. Candy company formulations. Real tomato sauce should be tomatoes, vinegar, salt, spices. 5 ingredients maximum. No preservatives. No modified starches. No mystery natural flavors. No imported paste from undisclosed countries. 2 options actually deliver that while supporting Australian businesses. Safe pick number 1. Red Kelly's Tasmania. Tomato sauce Tasmanian family business. Founded 2009. Small batch production. Tasmanian tomatoes grown, processed, bottled on same property in Devonport region. Ingredients are tomatoes 99%, sugar, salt, spices. 4 ingredients total. No preservatives. No modified starch. No color additives. No natural flavors mystery. The tomatoes are Tasmanian. Verified Tasmanian origin. Whole tomatoes grown in Devonport, processed within hours of harvest. Not imported paste. Sugar content 12 to 14%. Half the sugar of Heinz. Still sweet, but from natural tomato sugars plus modest added sugar, not extreme loading. Shelf life is 3 months after opening versus 6 to 12 months for preserved brands. Real tomato sauce without chemical preservation spoils faster. That's how you know it's real. Price is $8 to $10 per 500 milliliters. Triple home brand pricing. The premium buys verified Tasmanian tomatoes. Family business support. No preservatives. Traceable origin. Available Woolies, Coles, IGA in Tasmania. Limited mainland distribution. Online ordering ships nationally. Safe pick number 2. Make your own. 2 kilograms ripe tomatoes. Half cup apple cider vinegar. 1/4 cup raw sugar. 2 teaspoons salt. 1 teaspoon cinnamon. Half teaspoon ground cloves. Half teaspoon allspice. Simmer 90 minutes. Blend. Bottle. Done. Total control. 0 preservatives. You choose sugar amount. Cost is $4 to $5 per liter using Farmers Market Australian tomatoes. Cheaper than Red Kelly's. Cleaner than anything on shelves. Lasts 4 weeks refrigerated. Real tomato sauce spoils. That's natural. Check 5 things on ketchup labels. Sugar content. Over 20 grams per 100 grams is excessive. Look for brands under 15 grams per 100 grams. Preservatives. Sodium benzoate 211 and potassium sorbate 202 extend shelf life unnaturally. Modified starch. Numbers 1422, 1442, 415. Signal thickness from additives, not tomatoes. Origin wording. Product of Australia means grown and processed here. Made in Australia means only processed here from imported ingredients. Natural flavors. Catch-all term hiding dozens of chemical compounds with 0 disclosure requirement. 6 ketchup brands hiding problems behind red bottles and heritage. Heinz with 27% sugar exceeding Coke. Masterfoods with candy company formulation and imported mystery paste. Home brand with likely Chinese tomatoes and modified starch. Fountain with French ownership and color additives. Rosella with American simplet, betraying 129 years Australian heritage. ETA with wording deception and dual preservatives. 2 options support Australian agriculture. Red Kelly's Tasmania with verified Tasmanian tomatoes. Family ownership, no preservatives. Make your own with complete control. If this changed how you see tomato sauce, subscribe now. We investigate Australian food weekly. No sponsorships, just facts. Share this with every Australian family buying ketchup. They deserve to know what's in that red bottle. Go to your pantry, check that ketchup. Read the sugar, count the additives, verify the origin. Choose wisely.